There's a lot of tough acts to follow. Bob, you're a tough act to follow. That was an incredible story about Erik asking for Lisa's hand in marriage. I love that. Bill, there's 6 other people here that I know that preceded Erik knowing Lisa. George Bernardo, one of our high school friends, is here. David Lustine, one of Mark's high school friends, is here. My Uncle Roger has known us since we came out of the cradle. My roommate from the Naval Academy, Mike Kelly, you're here somewhere. My daughter, Taylor, Erik's niece, is here. She's 29, and I think it's right around the time you guys got together. But I think that just goes to show what's already been said today, that Erik was loved from not just the community, but from literally ends of the earth. And I'm just honored to be up here. I'm his brother Carl. I'm the older brother. This is my brother Mark, who's the younger brother. Erik would have been like right here between us. And Pastor Greg said something that really stuck with me when he first came up here, is like, whatever words come out of my mouth don't express what I really wanted to say about my brother. I know it won't be enough, but I'm going to do my best. Do my best to honor what I think about my brother and how much I loved him. So in the front row are all the people he loved dearly, and I'm just going to go down the row that I can see you in. His nephew Aaron, my wife Kimberly, Alice, you're over here. I've already met you. David, Katie, Lisa, Lukey, Johnny, Gracie, Nikki, sorry, Nathan, and Andrew. You guys are special. You guys are special. You've all got to know my brother, your father, your friend's father, your uncle, very, very well. And one of the things that I picked up my wife and son from the airport yesterday, and Uncle Roger rode down with me. And when Kimberly got in the car with us, she said, "Well, how's it going over there?" And Uncle Roger said, "There's a lot of love in that house." And I had the pleasure of being there for the last 4 days. There's a lot of love, and I've met so many people. The house is always full. The community that Erik and Lisa built in that home on 310 Auto Lane is special. It's really special. And you know, Uncle Roger, I'm going to quote you again. We were talking the other night, and he's like, this kind of household is like 0.01% of households around the world. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen anything like it. And you know, I just love you so much, Lisa, that you've created that with my brother. So, when I was a young captain in the Marine Corps, my commanding officer at the time, Art Athens, gave a talk on leadership over 30 years ago, and it's still stuck with me. One of the things he said in that talk was, everybody in this auditorium, there's about half as many people that are in here, said everybody's going to have consider a headstone. Everybody's going to have a start date, a birth date, and the day you pass on. Every one of us is born, and every one of us is going to pass from this earth. But it's how you live that dash that matters. As I contemplated the news that Erik had passed away, and the reality sinking in, because you know Johnny can testify that I was in disbelief hearing the news. And as I continued to contemplate it, this talk from 30 years ago kept pushing into my mind. And now I know why. Because this is important to me. I know with conviction that my brother lived that dash well. He was a wonderful husband, father, uncle, brother, son-in-law, nephew, employee, student, teacher, coach, and mentor. Mostly, he was a humble, Christian man who lived his life to the fullest. He was courageous, fun-loving, curious, athletic, competitive, and intelligent. Some of my fondest memories in my life were times growing up together as really kind of boys. Body surfing in the hours, trying to ride farther than the other for hours and hours. Playing endless wiffle ball in our stadium in our front court at front yard of our house at Wellwood Court. We were young leaders, organizing neighborhood pickup tackle football games, pickup basketball games, even neighborhood pickup baseball games, if you can believe it, at our local Stonegate Elementary. Family card games, board games, chess games. Geez, even as 40-somethings, we would still have sprint races on the beach when our family would get together and rent a house on the beach every year in Virginia Beach. The last time I spent time with Erik was quality brother time, and I am grateful for the memory. He came to visit me, just the two of us, for 3 to 4 days last April at our second home north of Missoula, Montana. We cooked breakfast every day, we had coffee together, we hiked along Lake McDonald and some snowy paths at Glacier Park. And one of the things that I still makes me chuckle is you saw the picture of Erik standing out and just observing nature and just loving it. Johnny sent me a picture of him eating snow off a tree on their trip in Maine. Well, while we were hiking this snowy path in Glacier Park, I caught Erik just looking at this tree, just staring up at this tree for like a long time. And I'm not one for really taking a lot of pictures, my wife can attest to that, but I took a picture of Erik just like staring at this tree. And I still don't even know why he was staring at that tree, but that was Erik. Something would catch his eye, and I think it has something to do with the color of it because it was redder than the other trees, I don't know. But it's just an amazing thing about Erik. He was just so curious. While we were there, we talked politics with my Montana friends and neighbors. We shot trap with shotguns, took my .45 into the woods, and shot at glass bottles and cans. And while he was shooting at these bottles and cans, he had a couple of really good shots, and the cans were jumping. You could see him in the video jumping up and down. And he's like, "Did you get that on video?" I'm like, "Yes, Erik, I got it on video." But for what it's worth, I did beat him in the trap shooting. Maybe the 23 years of the Marines might have helped out a little bit. The morning after we heard the news of that Erik had passed away, my 11-year-old son had a 5th grade basketball game for the church school he attends. And when it comes to basketball, let's just say that Aaron is a very good baseball player. But before the game, I spoke with Aaron, and I told him that his uncle was a beast of the boards. When we played basketball, he was greedy for that ball, wasn't he? There's a lot of head shaking up and down in the front row. So I told him his uncle was a beast, and he should go out and be like Erik today. Well, the teams gathered in a circle at midcourt, and they prayed for each other, they prayed for the game, prayed for the parents not to be too worried about the competition, and they prayed for Erik and his family. And Aaron was clearly overcome with emotion as his team hugged him and patted his shoulders. And he was so overcome with emotion that he had to sit out the first quarter. But you know what? He went out in the next 2.5 quarters and grabbed 10 rebounds, scored 4 points, and was the player of the game for the first time in his nation basketball career. I gave Aaron a big hug, and most of you know Aaron. That's a problem I have calling Erik, and vice versa. But Aaron is he's Finnish, right? His last name's Lidikainen. He's not a very emotional guy. He's been more emotional lately, but for very, very good reasons. But after the game, I gave him a big hug, and as we cried together, I whispered in his ear that Erik was so proud of the way he played today. And after we hug, we're all teary-eyed, and we start looking for which way to go to the parking lot. I say, hey, let's just go around the building so nobody sees us with tears in our eyes. He's like, that's okay, Dad. Let's just go straight to the car. Erik, you're an inspiration for all of us. He loved his family with all his heart. He crafted his entire life to be ever present with Lisa and his family. I know he didn't leave anything left unsaid and left this physical world with no regrets. He left it all on the field, literally. Erik was a role model for all of us, especially husbands and fathers. Erik, I'm proud to be your brother, and I'm very proud of your legacy. So in closing, I encourage each of you to be like Erik. To live your life the best way you can. Walk with the Lord. Be humble, be kind, love and laugh out loud. Tell your loved ones what they mean to you every day. Be a difference maker every day. Because remember, it's the dash that matters.